Now, 10 years ago, Nigeria made history as Port Harcourt assumed its tenure as UNESCO World Book Capital, beating 8 contenders, including Oxford. A decade after, the Rainbow Book Club project managers of the Port Harcourt World Book Capital program launched the ROAR, R-O-A-R, Africa series. These are biographies of notable Africans for young readers, beginning with Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, who turns 90 this year. This initiative is a partnership with UNESCO Paris. Now, the ROAR Africa seeks to amplify the voice of our continent through stories of outstanding men, women, places, and events, primarily for young people. Joining us now is Koko Kalango, founder of the Rainbow Book Club. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, Koko, congratulations. You've done this under the ROAR project, ROAR Africa. Looking at outstanding achievers. And this is Wole Soyinka, activist and Nobel laureate. If you can have a close shot of that book, that would be really nice. And I think it's a great idea. But if you could just tell us more about this project, about outstanding achievers, the others that you have on your list, and how you intend to get this into the hands of young people, because they are the ones to be motivated.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Even old people, I mean.
Indeed.
When you read about Wole Soyinka and how much of a prodigy he is, even at my old age, I'm inspired.
Indeed. You know, when people ask, who's this book for? I say it's for young readers, it's for the young at heart, and it's for busy people. Because the amount of research gone into producing this book is the same amount if I was writing a 500-page book. So you could even say it's a bit more work because then you have to take all this information and put it in concise form that would be interesting and appealing to young readers. So Raw Africa, as the name suggests, every continent has a voice. And Africa's voice is also being spoken or being heard through this project. There's a proverb that says, until the lion tells the story, the hunter will always be the hero. So it suggests, that's how we see it, that every story has at least 2 versions. One is the hunter's version and one is the lion's version. What's the hunter saying about Africa or Nigeria? They'll tell you we're underdeveloped, there's poverty, insecurity, corruption. Yeah, that's part of the story, but that's a single story. The danger of a single story. The story is more than that. Here we have,
Chimamanda, our teacher.
As Chimamanda, we must credit her indeed. But here we have produced Nobel laureates like Wole Soyinka. Nigerian musicians are taking our music to the ends of the earth. There's Nollywood, which we talked about. We have scientists. We have people excelling, Nigerians like Okonjo Iweala, heading international organizations. So it's so important that we bring out these stories for posterity so that our children can know they have people to be proud of. If you talk to a lot of the young Nigerians, they don't know a lot about our history. Talk to the millennial generation Z, you'd be shocked. So we are hoping that we can bring these stories to young children. And I think it would be a great idea if these books get into our national curriculum. And outside that, I think we need them in libraries. You know, parents should buy them for their children. Schools should pick them up as well.
Yeah. The next heroes, the next achievers, set of achievers.
Well, as you can imagine, there are so many. We're already working on other stories, but I think I'll hold on till the book is almost out to publicize exactly who we're talking about next. But we always consider who has done something no one else has done. Who's the first at something? Or who has done something that we cannot ignore. So it may not always be people with Soyinka's stature, but there'll be people whose story is very important to tell to generations to come.
I absolutely love what you're doing. You know, this is what I really stand for, which is, you know, children these days, they get to learn about George Washington and Princess Diana and all these people, whereas we have so many of our own homegrown heroes here at home. But my question is, you know, do you have any plans to translate this into other languages as well, to make it more accessible? You know, how do we really get it to travel as far and wide as it needs to, even beyond Nigeria, to other African countries as well, and even to the diaspora.
Indeed. It is a project in collaboration with UNESCO Paris under the World Book Capital Network. So we are discussing with them ways to take this story around Africa in particular, because UNESCO has an ongoing History of Africa project. So that's one. But the full proposal, because we have a full-blown now, this one was sponsored by, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, Providence Bank, but I'm so proud to say that because I commend them for throwing their weight behind this project. But indeed, we do have it in the plan to translate it into different languages, locally and internationally. You know, we even would, produce audio books. And we're hoping as well that we get support so that we can put the stories into films, because people learn in different ways, whereas the Rainbow Book Club primarily promotes reading, but we understand that to get these stories to a very wide audience, we'd have to put it in film, audio books, and as you say, translate into different languages. So yes, it's in the plan.
Okay, I mean, congratulations, I must have to say, because this is very immense work, and I saw all the sources you got the work for, and it's very hard actually condensing. In fact, this is the hardest bit. The easiest bit is writing over 500, 1,000 pages, but this is the hardest bit. I want to know the relationship you had with Labaf in this recently concluded a Labaf Book Festival. That's the Lagos Festival for Book and Art. And secondly, I also want you to talk me through, distribution. So as it is now, where can we get this book? Where are the bookstores in Nigeria? Can we get it in an obscure bookstore somewhere in Potiskum or in Kalanamuda or somewhere?
That's why being on this show is so important, and we really appreciate the opportunity, because this show is all around Nigeria and abroad. So booksellers in Potiskum, booksellers in Eket, anywhere can reach the Rainbow Book Club, and we would arrange with them how they can sell the books there. But indeed, the book is available in bookstores in Port Harcourt, Chapters Bookstore, in Lagos, Laterna. It will be in, what's the bookstore in Victoria Island? The popular bookstore in Victoria Island. Roving Heights. Yes, Quintessence. And Roving Heights does have a branch in Abuja, so the book will be there as well.
Yeah. I also want to ask about the partnership with Labaf.
Yeah,
as we speak.
Important.
What about what's it called? Digital copies, e-copies.
Yes.
And is it on platforms like Amazon Kindle and things like that, and readers and all of that?
Yes, by next week it will be. I was kind of waiting to hear from Professor Shoyinka when we sent him the final copy, and I'm so excited that yesterday he reached me and said, congratulations. When you get a thumbs up from a Nobel laureate, I think it's really important. So yes, Labaf.
No, I was still asking my question on Labaf and distribution on Amazon Kindle.
Okay.
Please, quickly, yeah.
Okay. So yes, Labaf, as you know, we used to run the Port Harcourt Book Festival from 2008 in Port Harcourt. So Labaf is, yes, a sister organization doing the same thing in Lagos. And we were there this year. We've been there a number of times, reading to children. And I was there a couple of weeks ago to read this book to children. So yes, Labaf has also given a platform for promotion of the book, as has the Akada Children's Book Festival.
Okay.
One more thing about the book before we go. We have it a UNESCO World Book Capital Project. Yes. And that's very instructive for the benefit of people who may not know. When you were doing those book readings in Port Harcourt, I must have been there.
You were, yes.
Rotimi Amechi was the governor of Rivers State, and he supported literature. Port Harcourt was the magnet for literary figures, for critics, for, educated people. Now, what happened? The capital, the World Book Capital, Port Harcourt is no longer the World Book Capital. Is it still the World Book Capital? What happened? Why is it that other governors refuse to support your commitment to literature?
I think they should answer the question, the governors, but yes, indeed. We need to commend Governor Amechi, a book lover, it was actually his idea, the book festival. And then that continued to grow and snowball till we got the World Book Capital status. So he did do a tremendous work. Now, the World Book Capital title is given to a city for a year. Then after that, all the cities belong to a network. So I met with Governor Simina Alaye recently, and we did talk about the festival. So we are hoping that Port Harcourt would revive the festival and all the other good things that were done in River State. Like we set up over 200 book clubs. We set up over 12 libraries, one sponsored by Shell, Petroleum Company. We got children in the 23 local government areas to write about the sights and sounds, their cultures, and we put it in an anthology, a little book. So we did just so many things, book donation drive and all that. So I want to believe that the River State government will not allow that glory just fade away, but that they'll pick up from this wonderful initiative and continue it.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations again, and we look forward to more editions and, of course, to making sure this particular one is spread widely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Koko
having me.
Kalango.
So grateful for the opportunity.